morning all. This morning we're off to Dunwich. Got a big day today again. Yeah, off to Dunwich and Dunwich for breakfast, and then we're coming back and we're giving the plane a 25-hour service. So yeah, hopefully a little flight to Dunwich goes alright. There's a little bit of rain around. So anyway, we'll see how we go. We can always turn around and come back. I'll see you soon.
Well, okay, we're good to go. Just run through our checks. Brakes checked, they're good. Cabin doors closed and latched. Oh, that's done. Flight controls all free and correct. Beautiful. I've changed these a little bit and I feel much better. I made the stick an inch longer, and yeah, it feels really good. Nice new grip on it, and new radio switch. So flight instruments are all set. Okay, alright, gauges all on, fuel shut-off valves on, elevator trimmed to neutral. Okay, well we're good to go, we're off to Dunwich. This is going to be cool, haven't been there for a little while. So yeah, pre-flight inspection's been completed, seatbelts and harness are all good. Fuel shut-off valves on, radio intercom, I'll just turn that on. Brakes, that's good. Alright, throttle open, master switch is on, and here we go. Your little river. Alright, clear prop. And we have a flat battery. This is not good. And I haven't bought my battery pack, which is really not good. Damn it. Okay. Alright, we might just cease recording here for a minute, because I need to start this aeroplane. And I need to use my ute to do it. The jump start, because I haven't brought the battery pack. That's a bit of a bugger. Anyway, so be it. We'll sort it and we'll get going.
Right, well, I think we've just had a meant to be moment. So, plane doesn't start. I forgot to bring the jump pack. It does, however, turn over, all that sort of stuff. So, but it's just not quite turned over enough to start it. So, anyway, a couple of the guys have left here to go up to Dunwich and promptly turn around and come back. So, it's quite a bit of misty rain up there. Can't get into the strip, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm going to miss out on my tub of honey. And I wanted to buy this other honey for these, an engineer at work, to his partner's got eczema, and this honey is really, really good for eczema. So anyway, so be it. Have to be another day. So what we're going to do, we're going to charge the battery up. I'll put the battery on charge in the hangar, and yeah, and then I'm going to have a cup of tea, relax for a minute, and start a 25-hour service on this. So, you know, I can still take all the engine covers off, all that sort of stuff, get the plane level, but yeah, I can make a start on that, and then I'll get it out of the hangar once the battery's charged, warm it up, then drop the oil out of it. I can go over all the head stud tensions and so forth. Was required in 25. Well, this is initial 25-hour service after it's had a rebuild. So that's why I need to check the head stud tensions and the through bolt tensions. It's, you know, I'm pretty confident they're going to be okay. But anyway, a check in any case is required for that. So yeah, all right, I'm going to put the plane back in the hangar. Damn it! And yeah, I'm going to have a cup of tea, relax for a minute, and yeah, and get all the engine covers off this. So I'll see you soon.
Yeah, well, I was told by the guy I bought it, he said, leave it at 6.2. I'm like, okay, and then I made the mistake with operating windows, you know, 6 to 8.
Not too many at this table. That's a worry.
Yeah, I put 7 in. The guy up the service for me put 7 in there. And within an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now taking photos of this.
Okay, we've got the plane away. Now time to pull the engine covers off. Actually what we might do, we'll connect up this battery charger so when we go to warm it up, we've actually got some power. That'd be a good thing to do. Yeah, well, the weather's turned out a bit ordinary. There's been a few planes coming and going. A couple of planes have attempted to get out to Dunwich here with no success, which is, anyway, a bit disappointing. And yeah, apparently there's another day tomorrow, guys are going to be flying around. But anyway, we're just going to continue the 25-hour service and we'll take some engine covers off, have a look over the plane and then go through a service schedule. It's pretty basic for 25 hours, but anyway, we'll go through a service schedule, check it out and see how she looks. Oh yes, and we've got the battery on charge, so that was a pretty important part. And we'll get it charged up and then we'll run it up. But anyway, continue with these engine colours. So the old milk crates come in handy every now and then. They're just the right one, 3/4 milk crates, just the right height to go underneath the bottom engine cowling. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, so firstly, yeah, remove the spark plug leads. It's always a little bit difficult to get off. I might have to grab some tools for this one. Makes it a bit easier. So while I'm undoing these rocket cover bolts, are pretty bloody tight, it's a bit surprising. While I'm doing that, I'm always looking over things like, you know, the cables, any oil leaks around the place. You know, like the first thing you look at, obviously, because it's in your face, is the crankcase bolts, the through bolts. And you know, because they're marked with the blue paint mark, so wax mark, so you know, because they're marked with that, you know, I can see none of those have moved in the 25 hours that I've been flying it since a rebuild. You know, the prop bolts here, you know, just have a bit of a look at those, just look at everything. You know, I mean to say, you know, there's no oil leaks, and when I had an engine failure, the first thing I noticed was a tiny little oil leak on top of the crankcase here, and guessing because I was a bit inexperienced, I didn't pick up on the fact that one of these crankcase bolts, through bolts, was you know, actually going to fail. So yeah, anyway, we have no oil leaks now. It all looks, all the cylinder bases look really, really good. Actually, everything looks great. So anyway, we'll we'll do our check and yeah, see if there's anything untoward. All these engine mount bolts, that's all part of a service as well, obviously. Check all those. What I've done, I've actually put a hose clamp around these. Someone said to me once that, you know, if you have a bit of a hard landing some days, the rubbers can pop out of the engine mounts, and I've never, touch wood, I've never actually had a hard landing that's caused that. But in saying that, I thought, you know what, won't hurt, I'll do that. I'll put the hose clamps around them just for a little bit of peace of mind, to be honest. Over this side I've got a catch can that needs emptying, so I'll put a little wire in it, and the catch can's about half full, so yeah, it's a bit of blow by that's coming out of the engine, but you know, that catch can I've not emptied the whole time I've owned the plane, so to have that only half full, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Yeah, so this is our little catch can here that I was referring to, and I've just drilled a little hole right in the top of it, I don't know whether you can see that, and just put a wire in it for a dipstick, and you see it's about half full for roughly 100 hours, so you'd have to be pretty happy with that, I'd imagine. Anyway, I'll get these covers off and keep going with the service. Right, so in underneath the rockers here, there's a little cap screw. You need to remove that, and underneath that cap screw is the last of the head stud bolts. So, or the head studs. So we need to take those out all around, and when we're putting them back in, put them back in with just a tiny little bit of Loctite, just so they don't come out in flight. Now this one here could be a little bit tighter, but yeah, so when putting them back in, just clean them up, spray a little bit of carbon choke cleaner in there, and just blow it out, and then yeah, make sure there's no residue Loctite in there, and there's a little bit, so yeah, we'll clean all that up before we go putting them back in. Right, one of the things we don't have to do today is check our valve clearance. So our well, this engine is hydraulic lifters, so you know that's a good thing, I guess, and yeah, we don't have to do that now. To do all our head stud tensions, if you go to do this at home, please use a reputable torque wrench, okay? We've had trouble with torque wrenches that are a bit ordinary, you know, and the cheaper torque wrenches, it's just not worth buying a cheap torque wrench, let me tell you. So this is a Norbar. I love Norbar. When they're calibrated, they actually record the number of the torque wrench, the part number of the torque wrench. This one's 17103142. So, and you know, then it comes fully calibrated with a certificate. Now, I either tend to use either Norbar or Warren and Brown, both great torque wrenches. So, anyway, without further ado, we'll check all our head stud tensions. And when we do that, we do opposing studs. So yeah, hopefully they'll all tension up pretty good. But the Jabiru engines, it's actually, I believe, pretty important to keep on top of your head stud tensions. So yeah, all right, here we go. First one, good. Okay, well this one in the middle here, that's a little bit hard to get to, so you need you know, a fairly long Allen key to get to that one. Beautiful. And lastly, now some of these hardly moved, and some of them moved a good half a turn. So, yeah, look, pretty happy with it. All aluminium heads, a fair bit of movement in them. So yeah, anyway, we'll continue with doing the rest of them. It's funny to note that the cylinders that ran the coolest, or run the coolest, took the least amount of adjustment. So yeah, so cylinders at the back, at the rear of the engine, they took the most, some of them up to quarter of a turn. Now after, I'll just bring the camera in a little bit. So after you've done all your tensions in sequence, then I believe you know, it's a good idea just to do around the clock. So we just run around them in a clockwise manner, and when you're adjusting cylinder head bolts, don't get too carried away with the torque wrench. So you know, you just move it nice and get in there. Just move it nice and slow. No need to hoe into it, because when you do that, you get the wrong, well, you can get the wrong cylinder head adjustment. So yeah, so we'll just run over the whole lot now, and that'll be it. And then we'll check our crankcase bolts. Alright, all done. They came up pretty good. I'll just put the cap screws back in now, have a clean up in here a little bit, and put our cap screws back in, and put the rocker covers back on, and then we'll check all our torque settings on the through bolts, so crankcase bolts. Okay, just found a Loctite 243, so this is the preferred product for putting these little cap screws in. When you put them in, just put a little bit on the thread in the head, and then a little bit on your cap screw, and you're good to go. I think it's, I just have to check the tensions on that. I'm pretty sure it's 6 foot-pounds. It's not very much. You know, you can do it, put them in by hand if you've done quite a few tensions before, but yeah, anyway, Loctite, that's the go. Right, now next job, putting all our rocker covers back on. Now, normally fit all the seals first. We can't put them on any other way, but fit all the seals first. A little rubber seal goes around here, it's like an O-ring, and yeah, once they're on, then I just put the screws back in. I don't put them back in tight because I can't really tension them up until such time as the pods are back on, the air pods are back on. But yeah, we'll put these back on just loosely, and then we'll check all our crankcase bolts. the next thing to check is our crankcase bolts. So crankcase bolts are all, I think the front ones are 40 Newton meters, and the through bolts are all 47 Newton meters of torque. I've made up this little thing here, if you can see that. So you can look, you can actually buy this piece that I've made, and it's a socket and a uni joint. And I thought, well, no, I'm not going to spend all that money, I'll make one. So there you have it, there's my finished product, and it works pretty well. So we'll run over these through bolts now. I'm pretty confident they're going to be okay, because going by the torque lines that were put on there, nothing's moved. So we'll give those a check and yeah, see how we go. Okay, we've had to close up the hangar because it's starting to pour rain. The glass are covered in raindrops and so on. Anyway, we'll continue on with checking the through bolt tensions and see how we go. I've just checked a couple and they are really good. Didn't move not one little bit, so I'm pretty confident the rest are going to be okay. So we'll do that, and then yeah, hopefully the rain will go away and we can run it up and, oh, not run it up, well, warm it up, I should say, and then dump the oil out of it. All right, we've done all our through bolts. They come up really good. Actually, they did not move one little bit. So now I'm just going to go through, clean the surfaces, and yeah, I'll use a paint pen just to remark them. Now, I've put these pods on before a couple of times, heaps of times actually, but if you don't have the pod in quite far enough on the cylinder, your engine will run a little hot. So it's you know, people just bang them straight on, will sometimes find that, yeah, these engines might run a little hot. So I have it in, I've got a fin that's marked here, so I know how far the pod goes in. We're going to try and get it in as far as possible. I do have a set of the bigger pods that cover everything. I think they work pretty good too, but you know what? I've got mine working, I think probably as good as they're ever going to be, and I have, since I've got it right and played around with it a bit, yeah, this engine's been running fairly cool, even on a hot day. When I took off from Cobar, out in the middle of Australia, you know, like, what was it, 38 degrees or whatever it was pretty hot. This engine still ran relatively cool. So yeah, look, just try and get them right, try and get them in on the cylinder as much as possible. Anyway, here we go, we'll try and put them on. On this there's a cylinder head probe. So yeah, this is to for your temperature gauge, so cylinder head temperature probe. So it goes in here on the back one. What I'd just like to say is, when you're putting these back on, just make sure that you don't damage that, because it is actually quite easy to damage. I did reinforce these with some sheet tin across the bottom here, because they inherently, the original ones inherently break out around these, around the screws, set screws that go in. So you might have to do that to them. I think I've got it pretty right. Alright, here we go. Other side now. I'll put the screws in, tension those up. It's only about 6 foot-pounds or something. I'll just check that. So yeah, tension those up, and yeah, we'll do the other side. And then we'll get it out and give it a run up. The sun's actually came out again, which is nice. Okay, we've put the pods back on. We've just got to tension up the screws now. set screws. We've put all the plug leads back on, and now so we've just got the screws to go and tidy up our wiring here. Tell you what, don't be frightened to use a few zip ties. So they're going too overboard. It just stops your wiring from rubbing, things like that. Just keeps it nicely in place, and it finishes things up nice and tidy. Little plugs like this one here, if you can see that. Put a zip tie through the middle of those as well, and that's the one to the cylinder head temperature. So yeah, put a zip tie around that so it doesn't come apart as well. Alright, we'll finish this off. Just one more thing. So when you go to put your torque wrenches away, it's very important to look after your torque wrenches. And yeah, so if you leave them with tension on them, they will inherently lose tension and you have to get it recalibrated. So yeah, you just return it to zero. Alright, boom, done, put it away. Okay, so the cut screws, the recommended tension is 8 Newton meters. I do normally put just a little bit more on it, around 10 Newton meters. They always come loose on me. They're a bit of a pain, to be honest, and I don't really want to put Loctite on them. But in any case, yeah, they do come loose, so I'll just put a little bit more on those. And just tighten it. Just tighten them up diagonally. Check the tensions on the studs that go into the fuel pump as well, because they can also come loose in flight. So it's just a good idea to check everything. Yeah, beautiful, done. Clear, prop. Alright, well, it's all change time now. I actually sit this plane up on a couple of milk crates, as you can see there, and that actually makes the plane perfectly level, so as if it was a nose wheel plane. So yeah, therefore when I do an oil drain on it, there's absolutely nothing left in the sump. I've put an oil drain tap on it, which makes things a bit quicker. So yeah, I've basically just got to hook a hose up to it and dump the oil. Makes it a whole lot easier. And same with the oil filter, well, that's right at the front there, so that's pretty easy to get to. So out of the service, this is actually probably the easiest part of the whole deal. So anyway, we better get into it. Okay, hose is hooked up. If I can Under here. Alright, hose is hooked up, little tap is sort of in behind there, you might be able to just see it. And yeah, we've started draining the oil. Next thing's the oil filter, it's situated right at the front here. We'll soon get that off and replace the filter, and we'll be good to go. Okay, before you put your filter on, I choose to use a bald one. And this is not a paid advertisement, I might add. Mind you, some sponsorship wouldn't go astray. But yeah, no, I just like bald ones. When I was racing Speedway years ago, I always used to run bald ones and always got good good oil pressure using a bald one. I think the bypass valves in them are pretty good. But yeah, so make sure you fill your oil filter before putting it on. And just run a little bit of grease around the gasket here, around the rubber ring. So yeah, it just helps to make it seal a little bit better, that's all. Alright, doesn't take much. The oil pump will pump through, there's no worries about that. It's a good idea to turn the engine over after an oil change. Just turn the engine over a bit before turning ignition switches on, and that way, or for that matter, getting oil pressure up. So then you make sure, yeah, by doing that, you make sure all the oils, all the air, sorry, is out of the system. So there we go, it's full. All right, oil changes all done, filter's done. Checked all the wiring harnesses. I've checked every screw under that bonnet. Oil leaks, controls, pretty much everything. So that's pretty much completed our 25-hour service. Might sound a little bit ad lib, but do actually go by the Jabiru manual here, and so it's had an initial 5-hour service, 10-hour service, and a 25-hour service, which is just oil and filter. So, but the initial 5 and 10, that's the important one. So everything's checked out great, and so we'll get these cowlings back on. And if the weather holds off, we might just do a quick circuit just to check it out and make sure everything's good. Let's get these cowlings on. Okay, so we're done. All engine cowlings, everything's on. Just a few things we've checked it over. Checked the engine mounts. We've thoroughly checked for any loose bolts, nuts, anything under the cowling that's loose. For that matter, well, the rest of the aircraft, there's really not that much to it, but I always check all that anyway. We've checked all our safety wires, all our ignition harnesses, all our wiring's all good. Exhaust system and cap screws, checked all those, they're all good. And of course we've done our cylinder head tension, and our crankcase through bolt tension. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with the whole thing. I was a little bit surprised about a couple of head tensions, so I might be keeping an eye on that. So, but every service we go over that anyway. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for our 25-hour service. But I would like to take it for a test flight. Anyway, we'll just we'll pack up our tools and things, and if we get to take it out, well, that'd be great. If not, it'll have to be next weekend.
All right, well, here we go. Try again. This time a little different. Obviously we're not going up to dunnage, but yeah, it's all about pressures and temperatures and all that sort of stuff, and just watching our gauges, getting a feel of the plane, make sure everything's good. We've got about it's only about a 5, maybe 7 knot headwind on takeoff, and hopefully things are dried up enough around here to be able to use the airstrip. So yeah, So yeah, we go. Propeller area. Alright, here we go. Right, clear prop. And we have instant oil pressure. Lovely. Alright. Nice to be back in this, I gotta say. Lovely. Alright, by the time we taxi down to the other end here, we should be good. Temperature wise, actually the place has dried up a lot more than what I expected, which is pretty good. I'm the only one out here, that's even better. So flying school's packed up for the day. Yeah, they copped it today. It was pretty ordinary for them, to be honest, which is a bit of a pity. Yeah, they can't make money sitting on the ground. We've got people coming in to do some work around the place here, which will be nice. So might have to do a YouTube on the refurb of the place. So yeah, I think our airstrip's pretty good, but as for taxiways and around the hangars, yeah, not so sure about that. Anyway, cylinder head temperature's coming up. Oil temperature's going to take a little while to come up, especially with a new oil. Alright, our oil temperature's up to 50. We'll just run this up, check the ignition. So run it up to 2000 revs. Brakes on. Ignition 1. Good, barely a drop. Ignition 2. Barely any drop there, it's hardly noticeable. Alright, away we go. Heckfield traffic, Jabiru 8386, entering and rolling runway 10 for circuits, Heckfield. Just make sure the tail wheel's locked in. It's a little bit nerve-wracking at times. Alright, and away we go. Hang on, we need first stage flaps, and away we go. Alright, she's off like a rocket. Alright, 1000 feet a minute. Flaps up. And this is running absolutely beautiful. We've got reasonably good oil pressure. There's a little bit of misty rain around still, so anyway, we're only just going to do a circuit and good on the ground. I'm satisfied everything's going pretty good. Well, this thing is just going like a rocket. It's going really, really well. I've just climbed up to 1500 feet in absolutely no time at all. I'm really happy with that. So, yeah, I can safely say, Tamworth, here I come. Next weekend. It's really cool. Gee, the sun's nice and bright. It's beautiful. Yeah, okay. That's really good. Oil temperature's up. We've got awesome oil pressure. Yeah, that's really good. So, yeah, anyway. Prepare to land. Geez, I could fly up here all day today. It's just beautiful. There's hardly any wind. Just a pity there's misty rain around the place. It's a real spoiler. So, anyway, we shall put it on the ground, tuck it away, and yeah, I'm really happy with the performance of this little aeroplane. So good. Heckfield traffic, Jabiru 8386, turning base for runway 10, full stop Heckfield. Gonna have a nice long final, but anyway, yeah, just in this immediate area here, it's just perfect flying weather. My little trim tab is working beautiful that I'll put on the tail.
$500.
Oh, it's nice to hear that again. This is such a cool little aeroplane. It's a bit small at times, but anyway, it is such a cool little aeroplane. There's a little shed below us, and that's a good little marker. So I'm actually, if you're at 300 feet when you go over that shed, pretty much nail the landing. So, alright, I'll slow it down a bit. I'll come in on 3, third stage of flaps. Yeah, we'll just float in. That'll be cool. Got a little bit of crosswind happening here. So be it. Deck feels really good since I've extended it a little bit. So we're at, what are we, 55 knots, 60 knots over the fence, so to speak. You'd have to be happy with that landing. Honest to God, that was just, yeah, so good. I'm really happy with the way it flew. And yeah, it's time for home. And I'm done. I'm cooked. So yeah. Anyway, it's time to put this little girl away and get off. Alright, well, we're going to end it here. All off, switches are off, NATO's off, boom, done.
Okay, well there's today done. So I've taken it for a circuit, and yeah, so all our temperatures, pressures and everything was just awesome, really good. Happy with everything. I will just give it a quick check over during the week. Make sure we don't have any oil leaks or anything like that, and then yeah, we're good to go for our next flight. But thanks for being on board for today's 25-hour service, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe, and God bless, take care all, and we'll see you again soon.